This is a piece of 4140 heat treat that I've laid out and free press drilled, center drill on both ends so we could set it up in the lathe.
Welcome to Turn Right Machine Works. My name is Keith, and today we're starting another new project. This project is actually a center pivot shaft for a LaBounty grapple concrete pulverizer. I just want to get all of that straight. Basically, it's a concrete crusher, set of jaws, kind of breaks up big chunks of concrete, and we have the main pin and a couple sleeves to make for it. And as you just saw, we were center drilling the end of our shaft because we have no steady rest, and this is also hot roll, so even if our steady rest opened up to 5 1/4 inch diameter, we don't really have a surface to run on it yet. So what I have to do is turn a uniform 5-inch diameter on this pin and get it true from end to end. And I'm going to go ahead, and because I've got this pin is the length, so I brought got my 4-jaw in here, and we've got the 2 center drills done by hand. We laid them out. Now, just a quickie on this. Actually could be unfinished tooling as well too. But when we laid out our center point to drill, we used our center finder. Now, how many of you have actually taken and used the center finder and your diameter is larger than your center finder, and when you're out here at this edge right here, they're not finished and they're not running true, and sometimes you'll have a line that's just a little bit off of your datum or your center point, especially if you go around like this in about 6 different positions and you see a small circle in the center of your part there, and the lines never intersected right at the center. I do have one. I think this is an old Starrett. It has a knurled finish on here. It's the only reason why I think it is a Starrett, and the style of the nut or thumb nut there. It is finished on the end here, and I enjoy it when I am really wanting to nitpick and really get to a crosshairs. I mean, you can whine about it all day long when you get a brand new set of centers and you see that that's not finished. Or you could go over to the mill real quick, and most of these are finished on the sides, and you can grab it in the jaws like that, and you can dial your scale up and down, and then remove your scale, and then take an end mill and just skim those perfectly parallel. Make sure your spindle's dialed into your table. Make sure your spindle's in line with your axis of your knee, and then you'll be 100% true on that. Whether it's out enough to make a difference or not, but if you want 100% true. Just a little something I was thinking about as far as that part of it. I mean, it wasn't really that interesting, and I wasn't really sure if I was going to go ahead and create a video on this project. But I'm going to go ahead and carry it on through, and if I come across some interesting points of this project, and also cutting off, I mean, this is a pretty good sized chunk of material in here, and I want to show you at least how I claim trueness on a shaft with hand drilled center drills. Alright, so I'm set up now. Let's bring you in here so you can actually see how I've got this and ready to make the first cut. Okay, for right now, and I've talked about this before, my 4-jaw is really bell mouth. And this is hot roll right here. For right now, I'm putting just the jaws straight down on the end of the hot roll finish. And I just 4-pointed my jaws, and you can see the run out. Now actually, when you go 4 to 4 to the jaws there, I'm within a couple thousandths on each one of those jaws. this is well enough. I don't know where that center is on the end of this, but I did lay out the center to be true with the outside, so I have to figure that I'm going to be pretty close to that outside with my layout and the attention I paid to put in the center drill in the right spot. Alright, let's take a look at the other end. Okay, I put my indicator down here. I didn't bother getting it right at the end, but that's far enough right there. Alright, I'm going up and down about 60, so we've got our center drill within 1/32 or a 30,000th from being in center. It's only half of the total run out that we see right there. Now, just for a quick glance, let's take a look at in the middle of the stock and we'll see what that is. We don't know if this stock is straight in line, even configuring the outside heat treat and I mean hot roll finish. You know, we don't know if this is a straight piece or a warp piece, so let's just double check the center so we can kind of look at that before we actually kick it on. Okay, so we're getting about 40 here, which is really only 20. So it's not quite half of what that run out is at that end there. Alright, but we're well within, we're a 1/4 inch over on this OD of this material. So I'm going to get started and we're going to skim a straight section down there to where we can hold it in the jaws and have an area to indicate out past that point. And then we're going to endo this part and we're going to do the same thing on the other end until we can get repeatable zeros of running in the centers. And then after that, then we can start dialing, 4-jaw this thing in, dial it in, and turn it completely true. Alright, I just remembered something I had in here. Last year I went to the EastTec show for the very first time since I've been on the East Coast here. And I tell you what, I was going to go with a friend of mine and ended up going by myself, and I had a pretty fun day. It was neat to see a lot of the new and the modern stuff as well. I was basically going because I was looking at other plasma tables, and I wanted to see water jetting in action and the actual machine. And I also hit the booth where I paid attention to vendors, material vendors, and a lot of people that I knew that I deal with over the phone. We're going to be there at the booth, and I wanted to stop in and say hey, which that one building alone took the whole first half of the day. And I enjoyed every bit of it. While I was there, I met Martin, and he's with Arno, and we were talking tool bits and what I actually use on my marine shafting and stuff like that. And anyway, this is not marine shafting, of course, but he gave me bits that are comparable and that are in between stainless steel and high heat alloys, and basically that's what I'm working at in here now. And my normal C&M piece, especially for this hot roll on the hot roll finish on the outside, sometimes it's pretty rough on a C&MP, and so I'm going to try out one of the C&MGs. But he says you asked for a sample of the G and the P for Nitronic 50. You want to take 30,000, 50,000, that's about what I do. 10, 15,000 revolution feed rates, what I do. Enclosed inserts matching those parameters. The first one has a honed edge for stainless steels. The second has a ground sharp edge, which is more for high temperature alloys. Your materials seem to be somewhat in between, so I'm sending you both samples. Please let me know how they work. Thanks, Martin. So I'm going to go ahead and throw one on here. We're going to see how it works. And it's a good chance. I mean, we got quite a bit. I mean, it's only 1/4 inch off the material, but this is a pretty long length here that we need to pay attention to. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the C&MG that he gave me. here because I think it's going to stand up to the rough surface a little better. Okay, so this is the insert right here. I just wanted to give you a close-up look of the information on it. Alright, let's get this in here and get some chips going. Of course, we're just going to be taking a light skim here, and then we're going to 180 the thing. We're going to dial in this surface at the four jaw, and we're going to skim on the other side there. We'll also compare. You saw that I ran within 20 here, so we're going to see what the center was in there, and do the flip-flop until we know that we're true on our outside cut with the center, so that we can do a complete finish on the shaft. All right, get the rest of this out of the way. You know, it's at least 30 to get somewhat close to being 0 here, so that's what I took, was 30 aside. And we're putting the oil on here more so than anything else right now to catch the dust and stuff that's going to come off with that rust. Small chips, they're not too bad though. I'm getting a golden brown chip right now. It does turn a little tiny bit purple after it sits, but so it's pretty well mashed right now as far as speed and feed. All right, I want to get a clean finish there, so I'm going to crank in another 10 per side. There's just a pretty good hollow in the shaft right there, I believe. Okay, I just mic'd the difference, and I'm coming up with about 10 thousandths smaller diameter at that spot there. So we're going to go ahead and crank in another, probably 12 thousandths. Alright, I got this turned around at 150 over our finished diameter. And now I'm going to go ahead and flip this around. We're going to put this in the chuck here. And we're going to put the other center out here, and we're going to claim 0 with it. And we'll be able to four jaw dial this diameter here, true over there, and run our center in over here. Okay, now I know we took a little bit off this diameter, but I'm also going to run these aluminum shims here so that this this in here doesn't get marred up, for one, but also pivots nicer than sitting in these bell mouth chucks here. Alright, with those in there loosely, now we should be able to go ahead and break this loose, put these in here. All equally sitting in the same position in the jaws here. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and put my indicator on here and dial that in. We're within 60 thousandths. And it's like right between two jaws, so I can work two at the same time here. Six thousandths right now. We're a little bit high right here. Alright, we're running zero there. I'm just going to go around and make sure I got all equal pressure here. And then after that, then I look at my dial and see where I'm at. Okay, we're 1,000 high right there. Can I squeeze it out? We're within a half a thousand. I'm going to let it run. Okay, now, okay, here was the question. We wanted to see how close the center's running out now to where what we dialed. Here we knew that one was within it was a 16th total run out, so this is within 50 total run out, so within 25 thousandths on this end. And put it in here and we'll take a look at it. Make sure it's snug here. Okay. Looks real nice. Okay. Okay, we're going to go for our first skim on down this this length here, and I don't like the way this scale breaks off and gets on the waves here, so I'm going to wipe these down, oil them up, and I'm going to put some kind of a mat here for right now for this first cut, breaking loose the build-up hot scale there.